Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to tell you a story that inspired the 1996 film Scream, a movie that quickly became a classic and one of the legendary films we all love. This is the true story that inspired it, the story of the Gainesville Ripper. Before we start the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video to support our work. Enjoy watching. Everything started in Gainesville, Florida, and the murders happened unbelievably fast. In just a few days, the killer bathed his hands in blood. These back-to-back murders left the people in the area completely helpless. In August 1990, on Friday, August 25th, roommates 18-year-old Sonia Larson and Christina Powell were murdered in their home. The next night on Saturday, Christina Hoyt was killed. And on August 27th, roommates Tracy Pauls and Manny Tabato were brutally killed in their home. The murder weapon was a knife. No other weapon or tool was used. On Saturday, after the girls were killed, their bodies were found in their beds, placed in different poses. Some parts of their bodies had been cut or even carved. The other victims also had similar wounds and knife marks. Some limbs had been completely severed. Christina Hoyt, the victim of the second night, was found lying in her bed. Or rather, her body was on the bed, but her head was placed on the bookshelf. These murders took place just as students were returning from summer break. Students living on or near campus said they carried knives at night and were afraid to go outside, because 4 of the victims were university students and they all attended the same university. Also, all the murders happened in a neighborhood where financially struggling students generally lived. At that time, cell phones were not common. Security cameras were rare. This made the investigation incredibly difficult. These murders happened only a few years after the execution of Ted Bundy, one of the most psychopathic serial killers in the world. People started asking, is this another Ted Bundy? Or maybe a copycat? After 5 young people were murdered, the killing suddenly stopped. No one knew why. Most of us have watched Scream. Even if we haven't, we've definitely heard of it. But very few know the real story behind this legendary movie. These brutal murders that shook Florida, and later the entire country. So how did the movie come to be? Scream's screenwriter Kevin Williamson heard these murders on the news one night and his blood ran cold. He heard noises coming from the kitchen but didn't even dare to check. He locked himself in his bedroom and had nightmares until morning. After that night, he started writing the script for Scream, the story of a terrifying killer, or 2 killers, murdering college students with a sharp knife. Williamson later sold the script to the Weinstein brothers for $400,000, and the Scream legend was born. Released on December 20th, 1996, the film made $80 million at first, and eventually $175 million at the box office. Back to our story. After the murders, police arrested 18-year-old Edward Lee Humphrey, who had assaulted his grandmother. He lived in the same apartment complex as the first murdered girls, and after he was arrested, the murders stopped. For police, he was the perfect suspect. But there was no evidence linking him to the murders. Edward was later sent to a mental hospital. But as we all know, in true crime cases, the first person arrested is rarely the real killer. In January 1991, police arrested Danny Rolling for a different crime. Danny, 36, had a horrific childhood and a deeply troubled life. He had shot his father in the head twice, fled to Louisiana, and committed more crimes there. While searching the forest where he had been hiding, police found clothing and DNA linking him to the murders. It was proven that Danny Rolling was the Gainesville Ripper. In 1989, Danny had also murdered Julie Grissom, her father and her son in the same way. Mutilated bodies posed on the bed, exactly the same method. Although he denied everything at first, he confessed to all the murders in 1994. He behaved strangely in court. He even sang love songs to the jury and said he dedicated them to his fiancée, Sandra Lamba. Danny was sentenced to death and executed by lethal injection in 2006. People celebrated outside the prison. A truly chilling story. The events I just told you happened before the Scream movie and inspired it. But now I'll tell you about a murder that happened after the film. This time, it was the killers who were inspired by Scream. In 1998, 16-year-old Maria Padilla and her cousin Ramirez stabbed Padilla's mother, Gina Castillo, 45 times. Afterward, they said they wore the Scream mask and imitated the killer's voice from the movie. A similar incident happened in Belgium. A young girl named Alyssa rejected her neighbor's romantic offer, so he put on a Scream mask and stabbed her 30 times, killing her. Yes, friends, that's the end of our story. I hope you enjoyed it, especially for my audience who constantly asks for serial killer videos, and of course for all my followers. If you want more stories like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I love you all so much. See you very soon in the next videos. Take care.